the nation of South Africa. For centuries, the land has beared witness to shifting fortunes and warring tribes. On May 4th, in Johannesburg, the epicenter of this turbulent place, 4 men go to battle. The Congo's Igeu Kabesa enters the hexagon for his 5th EFC title defense against the unknown threat that is Croatia's undefeated Karlo. Zimbabwe's Themba Gorimbo returns after a year's absence, ready to seize opportunity that has eluded him before. In his way, 2-time title contender José de Rocha, the sensational Brazilian, on May 4th, in the city of Johannesburg, place of wealth and hardship, a new battle will be fought. This is the countdown to EFC 79. Kabesa versus Caput for the EFC featherweight title. Gorimbo versus de Rocha for the welterweight #1 contender spot.
I fight for myself. It's when I go in there, I think about myself. Because I know when I think about when I do something that's going to be beneficial for me, it's going to definitely benefit my family. At the moment, I sit down and I think of a fight and who I'm fighting. And then I tell myself, you know, if I have to lose this fight today, that's back to the streets for me. That's back to working 3 times as hard as I used to before. So I've got no other choice but to win.
Born an orphan in the city of Johannesburg, South Africa, Igeu Smiley Kabesa discovered wrestling at 6 years old. In that sport, he found a calling, and by the age of 19, he had won numerous national titles. It was in that year, 2013, that he first entered the EFC hexagon.
Fighting out of the red corner, this man is a wrestler making his pro debut.
Tonight, Eno and Laura. Is that ready? People ready? Let's fight! A lot's been said about Igeu Kabesa, talent he is.
And immediate issues for big takedown successfully.
Kabesa's wrestling prowess brought him an immediate advantage.
Hit kick and a miss by Hepburn. Kabesa 2 big takedowns.
There's that wrestling background of Kabesa.
Which he used to blaze a trail to the upper levels of the division.
Straight out of Ireland.
Peter Queally was a top-ranked Irish talent who had made a name in the heavier welterweight division and made the journey down to welcome young Kabesa to international competition.
Tons of talent. Igeu Kabesa stepping up. I'll tell you, this is a big step for Igeu Kabesa. Smiley, this is his chance to make his name in Peter Queally. Round 1 underway in this big, heavily touted matchup.
He's got basically South Africa backing him against Peter Queally from Ireland. Good combination of punches thrown and looking for the takedown, and now he gets Queally down. Again with the takedown, Kabesa puts Queally down on his back. This is going to be very important. This is going to score in the judges' books. They spend probably about 2 or 3 hours every single day on the wrestling mat, but now Kabesa landing some shots and his shorts coming off, but just the reversal from Igeu Kabesa, and now Kabesa's going to try and take Queally's back here.
He's on his back, Dirk. How about it? Takedown was right here. He picks him straight up and dumps him on his head.
Just incredible strength. Comes over the top, good elbow. It's a completely different level of athlete. He's always had the wrestling, no doubt about that, but now he has been able to put it all together, and he's doing that very, very well.
Igeu Kabesa is one of those athletes that kind of defines martial arts in Africa. You know, he's been able to really take apart some of the best fighters in the world. Peter Queally, a top prospect, a guy that we flew in from Ireland. He was Conor McGregor's training partner, and Igeu Kabesa took on a guy like that and really took him apart.
In March of 2016, Kabesa's moment had arrived. He faced the UK's Danny Henry for his EFC featherweight title.
Here comes the challenger, Smiley, the one and only Smiley.
His opponent and his belt represented the toughest challenge of his career.
Let's keep it a fair fight. Touch gloves if you want to now.
Okay, well that sets the tone, doesn't it?
Fighter, you ready? Igeu, you ready?
Round 1 of 5 if necessary. And here we go.
Kabesa looks for the takedown. Great takedown attempts by Henry, but Kabesa will drag him down to the deck. Now this is going to be interesting.
47, which has been
looking for the mount is Kabesa, and he gets it. That's interesting.
Wait, he doesn't want to give his back.
While Kabesa's growing talent stood him in good stead, still, the war that the Scotsman offered would reveal Kabesa's true desire to overcome.
Great score by Henry, but reversal by Kabesa. My goodness, that must be so frustrating.
Deep into the fourth round, Kabesa faced a test that would push him to the limit.
Sits back on it. Good defense.
Solid defense, gets a top position. Danny Henry explodes out of it, though.
Danny Henry's on his back.
40
And
seconds
he's got
remain.
both hooks in.
Big opportunity for Danny Henry. 35 seconds in the fourth round. This is the round he finished point. He's looking to lock it up.
He's got it under.
He's got
it. He locked it in.
Danny Henry's got the body triangle locked up.
Can he finish off Igeu Kabesa?
Is that in? It doesn't look like it's under his chin.
I don't think it is.
Fighting as Igeu Kabesa. 19 seconds remain. Kabesa is holding on.
Can he survive, Dirk?
12 seconds remain.
Danny Henry wrenching back.
Kabesa says he's fine. Danny Henry, let's go. Kabesa's going to see out the round. Oh my goodness.
Wow. That is what it's all about. That could be a
After withstanding an attack that would have finished most men, young Kabesa knew that his work was done.
Igeu Kabesa realizing his destiny in Johannesburg, South Africa. Daniel Henry simply just doesn't have much time left. And I think we have a new champion.
I don't see how Igeu Kabesa didn't win that fight.
I mean, people think I'm a champion today, and they think, yeah, life is good. At the end of the day, you still have to grind, you still have to work hard. And as a champion, you have to work twice as hard at all times. I always make sure that I have to win.
I think you know.
It doesn't matter how it goes, I have to.
Display of wrestling for MMA. That was.
I have to push myself
Special to see.
in every way. I have to sit down and think to myself, if I lose, I go back to the streets. And I can't afford to do that because I've got a child now and I've got a wife now.
What a fight.
And I have to look out for them.
And the new EFC featherweight champion of the world, Igeu Kabesa.
Igeu Kabesa has been so dominant in EFC, quite difficult for us to match purely because of his high skill level and how good he is and who he's beaten previously. Most guys don't want to fight him, they turn it down because he's too good and they're worried about their own records. So it's really difficult for us to continually find top caliber opponents for Igeu Kabesa.
Having established himself as champion, Kabesa has faced the greatest talent from all across the world. Home rival Pierre Buddha stepped up for his shot at the belt and was denied.
Takes it on, but Kabesa is all over him, swerving, looking to finish here. Igeu Kabesa, and that's it.
On short notice, black belt grappler Paulo Silva took his chance. entering the fight at a catch-weight advantage. Kabesa did not flinch.
Certainly when he looked up at the clock. Oh, my goodness! He's out! Oh, no! And finishes it! Smiley wins! No ways! He knocked his block off!
And finally, Scotsman Callum Murray, hot off of a grappling masterclass victory, took his berth as #1 contender. Kabesa fractured his arm with a single kick, putting him out of competition for months.
I've learned that sometimes we intend to want things too fast. You know, it must happen now. It's very frustrating, you know. I mean, I have to wake up every day and still train.
Luckily for Kabesa and EFC fans around the world, an opponent has been found. Croatia's Karlo made his pro MMA debut in 2013. For the last 5 years, throughout the fighting arenas of Central Europe, he has been honing his craft. Going undefeated across that territory, each bout has brought him closer to perfection and the necessity to take on the world's best.
There's many moving parts to finding a fight for Igeu Kabesa. Igeu Kabesa requires a high-level opponent to go up against. Somebody that, for him, is going to showcase his skills. It's going to be a real test that we can sit back as fight fans and go, wow, this is a crazy matchup. In finding a guy like Carlo Caput, that's exactly what we've done. To have 8 fights as a professional and to remain undefeated and finish most of your opponents, that speaks volumes.
Light 'em up, 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 light 'em up. Carlo! Light 'em up, 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 light 'em up.
On March 20th, in Johannesburg, he fights for a world title. For the man from Croatia, a veteran of the fighting trenches, it is a dream come true. While Caput prepares for a shot at his first world title, the champion gathers his energies to defend his belt for the 5th time. With 3 consecutive title defenses behind him, and having owned the featherweight division for 3 years in total, in 2017, there was a solitary loss that turned him into the man and champion that he is today.
Igeu Kabesa, the undefeated wrestling phenom. I mean, the guy, his quick twitch, I mean, he can hit that takedown at any moment.
When I just started fighting, it was just about rocking up at training, fighting, making money, going out, being irresponsible, never really manning up to anything like that.
You get to watch the second go-round with Igeu Kabesa and Danny Henry.
My loss, that made me see life in a different way.
5 rounds, touch gloves if you want it.
It made me see fighting in a different way. That made me look at people in a different way too.
Kabesa. Oh, and charging forward. What a shot by Igeu Kabesa. He is bringing the heat because he will take you out.
Danny Henry dives for a knee.
Oh, he's got that Darson nice, and he's twisting. He's twisting.
Doesn't quite have it locked onto his bicep, but he is
frustrating. Smiley, Igeu Kabesa. And that's it.
With Henry having vacated the title, denying Kabesa a rematch. It was internally that he had to overcome the sting of defeat. Victory is a poor teacher. It is loss that brings change.
I didn't have much parenting growing up. Everything I know now is through my career.
For Kabesa, his coming title defense is more than an opportunity to retain his championship status. It is the chance to practice the art of being the man he has become. A father, a role model, and a provider. In the EFC Hexagon, his home for 11 victories and only 1 defeat, he welcomes a new aggressor to test his right to be called the champion.
This fight, I'm gonna try something new, something that I've been working on. And if that thing works out, the fight's gonna finish in 1 minute. When you come here, man, you know what's gonna be going down. Because I work hard, so you better bring your A game and let's throw it down.
On May 4th, in Carnival City, Johannesburg, the arena in which Kabesa first won his title, he goes to war once again. His foe is the unknown, a man bringing a threat as yet untested. On May 4th, battle will reveal all.
Come UFC 79, the champ is still gonna stay the champ.
The city of Johannesburg, South Africa, the seat of the strongest economy on the African continent, and the location of that landmass's wealthiest quarter mile. Built on the richest gold and diamond reserves on the planet, it is Egoli, the city of gold, and the headquarters of the EFC organization. It is here that opportunity waits, here that men and women gather to pursue their dreams. On March 20 of this year, due to an irrevocable dispute with EFC management, the company's welterweight champion, Gunther Kalunda, was stripped of his title.
On the line, we have Kara Howarth, EFC president.
It's really obviously unfortunate. We tried for many months to come to an agreement with Gunther. We offered him a really good purse. It's much more than he's ever fought for before. In the end, if he doesn't want to accept it and we don't want to pay any more, then it's got to give. We couldn't hold up the division any longer. There's many athletes in welterweight that deserve a shot at the title. And we thought, let's put a Grand Prix together so they all have equal opportunity, and the winner is the next champ.
The vacant belt created opportunity, and Zimbabwe's Themba Gorimbo is poised to take it.
I like training in the morning. It's more mental, you know. To be at 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 3:30. It's something special. It's what differentiates me from everybody else.
Gorimbo's story is indeed like few others. Born into poverty in Zimbabwe, he experienced the harsh conditions of an illegal diamond mine, the stress and fear of escape and crossing the border into South Africa, and the desperation of living on the streets. It was his tenacious will to fulfill a dream of becoming a fighter that led Gorimbo to the #1 contender shot position he enjoys today.
It's Themba Gorimbo, originally from Zimbabwe, now fighting.
He first entered the EFC Hexagon in August of 2013, at 21 years old. Fueled by a desperate desire to lay claim to a life in his new country, he went on a winning tear.
That's it! What a fantastic victory for Themba, the answer, Gorimbo.
For the guillotine, the book is bending for all his words. Drags it onto the fence. There it is!
depression. All of my friends was leaving me. Ain't no one believed in me. So I had to be the only one that believed in me. I was so determined that I knew I was gonna make it. I ain't wanted to be good, I wanted to be the greatest. Threw my hands to the sky and started reaching to the stars.
Gorimbo's winning streak netted him the scalp of current EFC lightweight champion Joe Cummins and 2 title shots. In his second, against American Dave Mazzani, Gorimbo reached the peak of the mad energy that had carried him so far.
I lost. I lost that fight. Props to Dave Mazzani. But what happens that is I never get demotivated. It was a good loss for me because otherwise I wouldn't have this gym.
Gorimbo's loss to Mazzani prompted a reevaluation of a life obsessed with the sport of MMA. He took a year of absence, and in that time established the Ultimate Fitness Gym, along with business partner and friend, DeMarc Penna. Today, Gorimbo returns to the Hexagon, recalibrated, and ready to fight for that elusive title.
I'm back, man. I'm back, and this time, 4th of May, it's gonna be the start of something special for me. And I'm going for greatness.
While Gorimbo prepares for the opportunity to fight for the welterweight #1 contender spot, and ultimately a shot at EFC Gold, a similar warrior has been handed an identical chance at glory. Jose de Rocha has become one of the most mysterious figures in EFC lore. First appearing for the organization on just 7 days' notice, he fell short against the company's sensational double champion, Dricus du Plessis.
Trying to come out the back. Oh, started.
And thereafter, returned with brutal intent.
Is that a tap? I think it is. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, the darts was in and he locked it.
Fighting his way back to title contendership, at EFC 73 he faced Kalunda for the vacant title. And once again, under the glare of the championship lights, he fell short.
Jose was flawless. The guy came in, he went 5 rounds with Gunther Kalunda. He was arguably winning that fight in the first 3 rounds, and then towards the later rounds just started to gas. He came back here, had another fight, and did fantastically well.
De Rocha has become the organization's dark horse. Universally acclaimed for strength, toughness, and immense skill, he has yet to translate a lifetime's training in one of the world's toughest cauldrons to championship glory.
Themba, Gorimbo and De Rocha, that is awesome. 2 very technical and aggressive fighters, and that's going to be a cracker of a fight.
Luta, eu sobrevivo de luta, eu vivo luta, eu respiro luta. Então o cinturão, lutar no UFC vai ser muito gratificante e o cinturão é a conquista da minha vida.
Any opponent is a big threat. This is a sport where 1 punch counts, and any silly mistake, you can pay for it. He's a big threat to me, and that's how I see, that's how I wake up every day. That's why I don't become complacent with my training. I train hard. De Rocha being a black belt doesn't mean that he can be submitted. I can strike too. I can wrestle too. I can grab, I can submit, I can knock guys out. The fight, I only see myself winning. It's either in the first minute, in the first second, last second. Wherever the fight goes, I'm prepared, I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to win, and I'll win the fight in any way possible, man. I will just go in there, fight and fight and fight and fight and fight until I win. I am prepared on the ground. I am prepared stand up. I am prepared mentally. I am prepared everywhere. I'm there, I'm free, I'm doing my thing. I'm dangerous. I've got one game plan, that's to win.
On May 4th, in the city of gold, Johannesburg, South Africa, opportunity presents itself to two men, poised to take advantage. Their moment is coming, a moment to take place under the bright lights, where the past ceases to exist and only the present prevails. On May 4th, Gorimbo and Rocha collide, and the welterweight division is one step closer to revealing its new champion. EFC 79, Gorimbo versus Rocha for the welterweight #1 contender spot. Kabesa versus Caput for the EFC featherweight title.